I noticed the scratching last night, faint but insistent, coming from the attic where we stored Dad's old things after he passed. I climbed up, flashlight in hand, expecting mice. Instead, the noise led to his antique radio, dusty and unplugged for years. It crackled to life as I approached, broadcasting a voice that sounded almost like mine, reciting childhood memories I'd never shared with anyone. The words twisted slightly, names wrong, dates shifted. I turned it off, but the scratching resumed, downstairs now, closer to my bedroom door. The radio remembers what I tried to bury. My phone rang at midnight, number unknown. The voice was my own, older and tired, warning about a storm coming. I hung up, but it called back, describing my room in detail. Things I hadn't even noticed, like the crack in the ceiling. The line crackled with wind noise, then went silent. Now my phone shows missed calls from that number, timestamps from tomorrow. The signal remembers a conversation we haven't had. I noticed the streetlight outside my apartment flickering again last night. It always does when the wind picks up. What worried me was the sound. Between the clicks and the hums, I heard something almost like speech. Low, electrical, and strained. I thought it was interference until I realized it was repeating my name. Not shouting, practicing it. I stayed inside and turned off every light, but the glow still leaked through the curtains. This morning the bulb is steady again. The maintenance crew says it hasn't been rewired in 20 years. They ask how it knew who I was. I found the voicemail while cleaning storage. The timestamp was 3:12 a.m., but I was awake then. I remember because the wind kept rattling the windows. The message is just breathing at first, slow and uneven. And then a pause. Someone whispers my name, carefully, like they're reading it off a card. At the end, there's a sound like fabric brushing a microphone. The call didn't come from a number. It came from my own phone. I checked the call log twice. It still says that I never answered. I leave the radio on for company. Low volume. Mostly static at night. Last night, the static thinned when my partner left for work. Not quieter, but focused. Between bursts, I heard movement, like wind pushing through narrow spaces. Then a voice tried to tune itself. Not words. Shape. I turned the radio off. The sound continued for a few seconds longer, coming from the speaker anyway. This morning, the radio won't turn back on. The static doesn't need it anymore. Brushing my teeth tonight, I glanced at the bathroom mirror and saw writing fogged into the glass. Come back soon. It wasn't mine. The handwriting matched my mom's. who died 5 years ago. I wiped it away, but as the steam cleared again, the words reappeared, this time with my name added. The room felt colder, the wind whistling through the vent like a sigh. I left the light on, but the mirror stays fogged now, even without hot water running. The glass remembers her words, waiting for a reply. Shaving this morning, my reflection in the mirror lagged behind, mimicking my movements a second too late. I stopped, and it continued briefly, then caught up. The glass rippled like water in the wind. I stepped away, but glancing back, it showed me still there, hand raised. Now at night, the mirror reflects the room empty, except for my shape in the corner. The surface remembers the delay, holding it longer each time. The bathroom mirror fogs easily in winter. I wiped a circle clear and checked my face. Tired, but normal. When I turned to grab a towel, I heard a soft blink. I looked back. My reflection's eyes were still mid-closing. I stood there for a long time, breathing slowly, waiting for it to copy me again. Eventually it did. Perfectly. The mirror hasn't fogged since. No matter how hot the shower gets, the glass stays clear. Almost like it's watching. I walked past the hallway mirror and saw myself still standing there after I'd already moved on. It wasn't a trick of the light. My reflection stayed perfectly still, watching me. When I stepped back, it smiled first. Not wide, just knowingly. I covered the mirror with a sheet, but I can hear faint tapping from behind the glass now, like fingernails tracing the surface. I think it wants me to uncover it. I think it's patient. I've stopped looking in the bathroom mirror. It started out as just a millisecond lag, a blink that happened on glass before it happened on my face. This morning was different. I turned away from the sink to grab a towel, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw my reflection stay put. It didn't turn with me, it just stood there, staring at the back of my head with an expression of pure, cold hunger. I'm locked in the bedroom now, but I can hear the glass and the vanity beginning to crack. This morning I saw a figure on the porch swing, rocking gently in the breeze. It looked like my sister, who vanished last summer without a trace. I called out, but the wind carried my voice away, and she didn't turn. As I stepped closer, her outline blurred, features melting into the gray dawn light. By the time I reached the door, she was gone, leaving only the swing creaking empty. Tonight, the rocking started again, and I hear her whispering my name from outside. The porch remembers her shape, even if I don't. The wind picked up this afternoon, howling through the trees outside my window. Amid the gusts, I heard my childhood nickname whispered, the one only my lost brother used. I closed the shutters, but the voice persisted, clearer now, listing places we used to play as kids. One gust rattled the glass, and I saw leaves forming the shape of his face briefly. The wind died down, but tonight it's back, calling from the yard. The breeze remembers his voice, carrying it home. I reached for my keys this morning and felt panic before understanding why. They weren't in my pocket. Before I could search, something slid across the floor behind me. The keys stopped at my feet. The door was still locked. Windows closed. Outside, the wind pressed hard against the house, shaking the frame like it wanted in. I didn't pick the keys up right away. They were cold, colder than the floor. One of them isn't mine. It fits a lock I don't recognize. The car windshield was iced over this morning. I scraped a small circle clear and froze. My name was already written underneath, traced perfectly in the frost. Not carved, pressed. I stood there too long, watching my breath fog over it. As the sun rose, the letters didn't melt. They sank deeper instead, like the glass was softening around them. I drove anyway. At the first stoplight, every other windshield around me was clear. Mine still remembers. My husband has been calling for me from the woods behind our cabin for 3 hours. He sounds desperate, his voice cracking as he begs me to help him find his way back. The concern in his voice is heartbreaking, and I almost ran out there twice. But then I look at the couch. He's been fast asleep right next to me the entire time. Whatever is out there in the trees is getting better at his accent, and now it's started scratching at the front door. I've been hearing footsteps in the upstairs hall every evening, pacing back and forth like someone lost. They sound like my own shoes, the ones I wear to work. But I'm always downstairs alone. Last night, I went up and found the hall empty, dust undisturbed except for a single print facing the wrong way. The pacing stopped when I stood there, but resumed below me in the living room. Now the footsteps circle my chair as I sit. The floor remembers a path I haven't taken yet. The basement door has been creaking open on its own lately. Just a crack at first. I push it shut, but hours later it's ajar again, revealing stairs descending into shadows. Last time I saw a handprint on the inside knob, matching mine, but dirtier. The air from below smells like forgotten rain. Tonight, the door stands wide open, and I hear footsteps ascending slowly. The threshold remembers the way back up. Someone knocks on my door every night at exactly 3 a.m. 3 slow knocks, always the same rhythm. I've looked through the peephole. There's never anyone there. Last night, I decided to record it with my phone. The knocks came right on time. When I played back the video this morning, I can hear myself knocking from inside my apartment. The rhythm is identical, but I was in bed the entire time. I checked the timestamp, 3 a.m. exactly. Tonight, I heard the knocks again. This time, I heard myself answer. I keep hearing a knock at my door every night at 3:11. It's always the same pattern. 3 slow taps and then silence. I've stopped answering, but tonight it whispered my name through the wood. Not loudly, almost apologetically, like it was tired of waiting. I checked the peephole once. Never again. Something was standing too close, like its skin was pressed against the lens. I'm writing this now because the knocking just started again, and this time it's coming from inside my apartment. Something is crawling beneath my floorboards, not mice or rats. Something heavier, dragging itself slowly from room to room. Last night it stopped directly under my bed. I could hear breathing, slow, wet, and deliberate. I pressed my ear to the floor and whispered, "What do you want?" It whispered back, mimicking my voice perfectly. Tonight, the floorboards are starting to crack. Whatever it is, it's getting closer to the surface. Flipping through the family album today, I found a photo I don't remember. Me standing alone in the backyard, but with an extra shadow beside me, tall and indistinct. It's dated the day after my uncle went missing. I turned the page, but the shadow appeared in the next photo too, closer now. The album feels heavier, pages sticking as if reluctant to turn. When I close it, I can hear faint breathing from inside. The paper remembers the figure that wasn't there. A letter arrived today addressed in my handwriting, postmarked from 10 years ago. Inside, it detailed a family secret I only learned last month. The paper yellowed, ink faded but legible. I burned it, but another came this evening, identical except for a new line at the end. Don't forget. The mailbox rattles in the wind now, even when empty. The post remembers what I tried to send away. It snowed overnight, thick and quiet. When I stepped outside, the air felt wrong. Too soft, like it was holding its breath. My footprints sank deep, but the snow inside them didn't crust or crack. It stayed smooth, wet. I knelt and pressed my glove into one. Steam rose. The rest of the yard was frozen solid. I backed away and watched as the prints slowly filled themselves in, sealing flat. This morning, there are no tracks leading to my door, just a clear path leading away from it. I make lists so I don't forget things. Milk, bread, coffee. Lately, the lists keep changing. Items I don't remember adding appear in the same handwriting, steady and familiar. Yesterday it said salt, string, something warm. I crossed them out. At the store, my cart felt heavier than it should have. When I got home, I unpacked everything twice. The receipt matches the list, but not my memory. I don't know what I used the string for, but it's gone now. My brother made me a playlist before he passed away. 43 songs, all ones we listened to as kids. I haven't opened it in 6 years. Last night, my phone started playing it at 2 a.m. I didn't touch anything. The volume was adjusting itself, louder during the songs he loved most, quieter during the ones that I picked. When it reached the end, a 44th song started playing, one I've never heard before. The artist's name was his full name, birth and death dates included. The song is still downloading.